10, Cringey King Charles Icks, that made him unlikable. Number 10, involving palace staff in his affair. Even Charles's cleaning staff once kept his affair with Camilla a secret. Or at the very least, they tried. The Prince of Wales' affair with the Duchess of Cornwall, which occurred while Charles was married to Diana, is well known to royal family followers. And it's safe to assume that some members of the family are dissatisfied with the fact that their affair is getting screen time on Netflix's The Crown, making it by far one of the biggest royal relationship scandals. However, juicy details about their affair are harder to come by. In a well-known interview with News of the World, the prince's valet Ken Stronach shared shocking details about Charles's affair. He was even fired because of his breach of confidentiality. Stronach claimed at the time that he scrubbed grass stains from Charles's pajamas after the prince would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night to meet with Camilla, and even made sure his bed looked like he'd slept in it by ruffling it up. It was very elaborate, but no one was fooled by it. He stated to the newspaper at the time, "We've all been told not to speak to anyone about anything. Throughout his time with Charles, I became extremely ill as a result of the strain of keeping his secrets. Even though Charles has admitted to the affair and married Camilla, it's clear the firm still doesn't like to talk about the royal drama." Number 9, spreading rumors about Diana. Diana's former chief of staff has blasted King Charles's former courtiers for spreading lies that she was mentally ill. Patrick Jeffson, who worked closely alongside Diana for 8 years, alleges that Charles's staff smeared his first wife in a systematic campaign, while it was an open secret within the establishment that he was having an affair with longtime mistress Camilla. Jeffson said, "This is not just some casual gossip, it was a systematic campaign." Okay, it was a long time ago, but the man they were supporting is now our king, and these things should not be buried. They should not be conveniently pushed to one side. He went on to say there was a lot of nonsense talked about Diana, including rumors that she had an eating disorder and mental illness. He said, "I heard it all from people who should have known better. I think they felt threatened by her popularity, but some of the stuff was just nasty. She did not deserve it." Jeffson also claims that he witnessed firsthand how Charles was affected by the breakdown of his marriage with Diana. He said there were times when he seemed almost in despair over the whole thing. It was sad to see him so powerless yet still loving her at the same time. He added Charles was a victim of his own courtiers who had a point of view that was very much the king must be protected, but they failed to realize that people were flocking to Diana and she needed protecting too. Jeffson's powerful condemnation of Charles's former courtiers serves as an important reminder that no one should be subject to malicious gossip or lies, especially someone as beloved as Princess Diana. Even though it happened over 20 years ago, Diana's story still serves as a lesson in standing up against unfairness and injustice. On to number 8, scandals. This family has been involved in scandals for generations. Being knee-deep in controversies is not a good look for the representation of Britain, but they somehow managed to pay the news outlets to run stories to promote them in a good way. I mean, they managed to be so perfect that people sweep their complete wrongdoings under a rug, which, might I add, has to be a huge rug. No one is obviously perfect, but the extent to which the royals have been exposed for the controversies is so out of pocket that is actually shocking. And the fact that these news stories have not at all gotten as much attention as something as mediocre as Meghan potentially lying about being pregnant. Crazy. Political correspondent Nadine Bachelor Hunt argued that the royals are becoming increasingly out of place in contemporary society due to the family's past and present scandals. Number 7, travels funded by the citizens. The royal family's huge travel budget has more to do than just them having a lot of money, with one trip back in 2017 costing them $5.8 million. A few royal travel protocols they must follow included color-coded luggage, traveling with an entourage, packing a black outfit in case of an emergency funeral, and that royal heirs can't travel together just in case a plane goes down. Number 6, unloyalty. The revelations of infidelity in Charles's marriage to Diana left him, and now Queen Camilla, deeply unpopular. While he has managed to regain some positive sentiment in the British public, he remains less esteemed than many other members of the royal family. A poll showed in April 2022 that nearly half of Britons think Charles should let his son Prince William be the next king. A YouGov polling ranks him as the 7th most popular royal behind his mother, daughter-in-law Kate, son William, father Prince Philip, sister Princess Anne, and niece Zara Tyndall. Number 5, donation scandal. Charles had once been embroiled in controversy over donations to his charities. The Sunday Times of London reported that the half-brothers of a controversial figure made a $1.2 million donation to a Prince of Wales charitable fund back in 2013, and Charles's official office Clarence House said the royal did not personally solicit the donation. Number 4, hiding details about their wealth. The royal family is under few requirements to disclose details of its wealth, but all I'm gonna say is if you want to find out, you can. The family's communications with the government are exempt from freedom of information requests. How convenient. Their official papers are kept secret by Britain's National Archives for at least 50 years, so the lack of transparency has led anti-monarchy groups, including the Republic, to call the monarchy an unaccountable public institution that has the power, secrecy, and influence to willfully abuse its position. Without a change, many details of the royal family's private wealth may never be known. Facts about the Duchy of Lancaster's offshore investments were leaked back in 2017, detailing roughly $13 million in offshore accounts. Other reports have suggested questionable foreign dealings or arrangements. King Charles was also once accused of offering to help secure a knighthood for a Saudi national in response to a donation to his charitable foundation. Representatives of Charles denied any impropriety, but obviously that sounds a little sus. Number 3, slipping away from scrutiny. Despite the threats against their lives, Charles and Diana became intensely secretive as their marriage came to an end, at times even evading their own security teams. Diana was the worst, according to the secret royals. Even early in her marriage, she became rather good at giving her own security the slip. Like an intelligence operative, she knew how to elude her tail. This caused periodic panics when royal flunkies realized she had slid out to go shopping down the King's Road, protected only by a pair of stylish sunglasses. But even with their lack of transparency, Charles and Diana were the subject of intense media scrutiny, as they were constantly tracked and photographed by the paparazzi. According to the secret royals, royal watchers had a field day for many years. Photographers scoured Kensington Palace in search of images that might depict any hint of marital discord between Charles and Diana. On occasion, they found it. Unfortunately for the couple, these moments often made front-page news. Number 2, Diana's mental health struggles. After learning about the tragic ending of Diana and Charles's marriage, we find out how much his unfaithful and negligent actions impacted Diana's mental health. He clearly has narcissistic tendencies to the point where it became detrimental to Diana's health while she was still alive. Diana struggled while trying to find her place in the royal family, and her mental health needs were not met. The royal family has tiptoed around acknowledging its failures in relation to Princess Diana, but years ago they flat out blamed her for everything that happened to her. In one chilling report, Diana is said to have thrown herself down the stairs while pregnant with Prince William. She had morning sickness throughout the pregnancy and also struggled with an eating disorder. In the documentary, Diana, in her own words, she says, "Charles said I was crying wolf, and I said I felt so desperate and I was crying my eyes out, and he said, 'I'm not gonna listen. You're always doing this to me. I'm going riding now.' So I threw myself down the stairs." Unfortunately, Charles didn't seem very bothered. The Queen comes out absolutely horrified, shaking. She was so frightened. "I knew I wasn't gonna lose the baby, quite bruised around the stomach." Charles went out riding, and when he came back, it was just dismissal. Total dismissal. He just carried on out of the door. Paul, one of Diana's former butlers, said that the princess predicted her own passing in a car crash. Apparently, she was so scared 10 months before she passed away that she wrote to Paul saying that there was a plot made by a member of the royal family and that her car brakes would be tampered with and she would suffer serious head injuries, and all of this would be so that the Prince of Wales could marry again. The letter she wrote read, "I'm sitting here at my desk today in October, longing for someone to hug me and encourage me to keep strong and hold my head high. This particular phase in my life is the most dangerous. My husband is planning an accident in my car, brake failure and serious head injury in order to make the path clear for him. Ken Camilla is nothing but a decoy." Will Charles ever speak on this super suspicious letter? Most likely not, but we do need the answers. And finally, number 1, jealousy. During his first marriage to Princess Diana, he had his first significant encounter with disapproving public opinion. Archival footage of the couple touring Australia in the new HBO documentary The Princess suggests that he was jealous of how much more popular she was. Diana confirmed that Charles envied the public's devotion to his wife in her explosive '95 interview with the BBC's Martin Bashir. The pressure on us both as a couple with the media was phenomenal and misunderstood by a great many people, she said. "We'd be going round Australia, for instance, and all you could hear was, 'Oh, she's on the other side.'" Diana subsequently clarified that the waiting crowds were expressing their disappointment that Charles was closer to them rather than Diana, explaining they weren't on the right side to wave at me or to touch me. That is all for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about, these King Charles Icks that made him unlikable. And if you still like him, let me know in the comments, I guess. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.